This thing that he's doing where he's pretending that he's a woman is very smart.
It really don't make a difference if you say he or she to me.
Some psychopath can just pretend that they're a woman and knock women over on the court.
I gotta take this out.
Norman's a fucking woman, dude. I bet.
It's a giant dude. A giant dude who's just dominating these chicks. So the more controversy there is, the more people do come to see them. The crazy thing about the WNBA, imagine if the NBA had the same sexual dynamic. Imagine if the most of the team was a bunch of gay dudes who were like very aggressive and black.
Welcome back to Clark Time Media. Today, WNBA fans, we're delving into a tale that has generated intense debate and strong opinions throughout the basketball community. With Brittney Griner, Sophie Cunningham, and the league itself being drawn into the discussion, Joe Rogan is currently at the center of an expanding WNBA controversy. Strong opinions, criticisms, and claims are circulating quickly. However, what is the true motivation behind all of this? So, let's go right into today's video and dissect everything without wasting any more time. The management staff is in a panic as the WNBA approaches a significant ideological crossroads, and the leading figures in sports commentary are dismantling the league's double standards on national television. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content. It may surprise you to learn that almost 85% of viewers have not yet subscribed. Even though it only takes a second and is free, it means the world to us. Have you already subscribed? Fantastic. I sincerely appreciate your help. Let's return to the video now.
You can't define what a woman is, then you're an idiot. And this is nonsense. And that's what your ideology is. Your ideology is so stupid, you can't define the difference between a male and a female. And so you've decided that people identifying with something means it's a real thing, and you have to say it because everybody else says it, and they scare you, and they'll cancel you and go after you. So everyone's agreed to nonsense. So this is where we painted ourselves into this dumb...
The initial aggressive push by corporate media to advance political narratives has completely backfired, igniting a heated public debate that spans from mainstream news programs to big podcast studios.
Griner now adding her voice to the debate over transgender athletes. She's a WNBA star, slamming the push to ban biological men from competing against biological women.
So when someone like Brittney Griner says, actually, I'm going to fight for men to play in women's sports, it's just another blow against lots of young female athletes.
But they've painted themselves in a corner, because if they don't let the guy in, it looks bad.
Right.
But if they do, he's going to dunk.
Well, the thing is, can you define what a woman is? And until you can't, if you can't define what a woman is, then you're an idiot. And this is nonsense.
Joe Rogan, the host of the Joe Rogan Experience, lambasted the sports establishment in a contentious episode, claiming that these organizations have placed themselves in a foolish position where they are unable to even define what a woman is. The harsh realities were revealed by Rogan.
The things that Joe Rogan, a prominent podcast, one of the things that made him wake up to this issue is he's an MMA fighter.
Correct.
And when Joe Rogan saw biological males who are transitioning to female beating the hell out of biological females in the ring, he started to think,
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? Like, why are we cheering this on?
If you say anything like, look, trans women aren't women. There are men who identify as women, which is fine. But there's a biological distinction that protects women in sports, and that's chromosomes. We know XX chromosome, you're a woman, XY, you're a dude. Do it that way. Call yourself whatever the fuck you want. But if you want to play in the WNBA, you have to have X.
Demonstrating how biological reality is based on basic genetics. XX chromosomes for women and XY for men, and warned that allowing biological males to play female sports completely compromises the fundamental protections that Title IX was intended to provide.
Doesn't the WNBA have an onus of responsibility to be able to ensure that it's fair playership, though? I don't know if playership's a word.
For college sports and for the WNBA, too, 100%. I mean, I don't think it's ever okay for guys to be playing girl sports, but if this is true, then she was like the origin of this epidemic.
Mostly big black gay ladies and a few scared-looking Sophie Cunninghams that have to point fingers at people. You're surrounded by people who think you're perhaps sexually attractive.
They've made it into a reality show. It's become like Real Housewives. They're all just fight now.
Right.
That's the only reason you watch.
But it is an interesting sexual dynamic.
During the discussion, Rogan raised attention to the divisive political environment in the WNBA, emphasizing how outspoken common-sense stars like Sophie Cunningham are forced to defend biological reality in the face of league narratives that ignore basic science.
You're going to have a tremendous platform, but where is that going to be on your radar in terms of advocating for athletes, all athletes, transgender athletes to be able to play?
Oh, I mean, that ranks high on the list of things that I'll be fighting for and speaking up against. You know, everyone deserves the right to play.
The WNBA's Brittney Griner is a man.
That's not a woman. That's not a female. That's not even a trans person. That is a man.
Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
The hostility increased when WNBA veteran Brittney Griner publicly entered the national conversation. On video, Griner said that everyone has the right to play women's sports and pledged to use her position to actively promote trans athletes, condemning ongoing efforts to keep biological men from competing.
It really don't make a difference if you say he or she. To me, like when I'm out in public, like my teammates sometimes will get mad if somebody call me a he, but I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you know, we go sit down and get some food and they're like, sir, what do you want? I'm like, yeah, let me get the steak, medium well. Thank you. I'm in TSA and I'm going through TSA and, you know, the guy pats me down so I could go through. I'm cool. I didn't have people come running like, no, it's the girls. I'm like, hey, you're making it awkward. Yeah. Like, I'm just trying to get through. Whoever could pat me down the fastest, I don't care. Yeah. I've had the opposite where someone was like, hey, you know, it's just against the rules. Like, he can't pat you down. Like, she has to pat you down. And then she walks up and she's looking at me. She goes looking at my chest, looking me up and down, looking at my chest, trying to look at the ID, making it awkward. Or they'll ask me, you really a girl? Nah.
Major news networks immediately denounced her comments. Author Douglas Murray publicly condemned Griner's comments as a devastating blow to thousands of committed female athletes across the country, pointing out that her stance purposefully undermines young women competing for hard-earned roster spots, fair podiums, and college scholarships.
Everyone deserves the right to play, so she's now weighed in on this. She's got a big voice.
I suppose it's sort of lucky that Brittney Griner's not just starting off, because if these are the rules when she was starting off, then the whole thing might be different. The problem we have in America on this is that there's a very distinct lack, actually, of women defending women in the public square on issues like this. And that isn't the case in every other country. And for instance, in my own country of origin, Britain, there have been very, very prominent women, not just in sports, but across the political and social platforms who have objected to precisely.
Murray pointed out that even Rogan recognized the underlying threat of this issue years ago after seeing biological males physically subdue and change female competitors in combat sports. Radical activist groups praised Griner's comments, but female athletes have emerged to lead a fierce counter-protest. Prominent athletes including two-time Olympian Sharon Davies and tennis player Martina Navratilova harshly denounced Griner's story, pointing out that unfair biological competition has already cost nearly 14,000 female athletes opportunities and worse finishing positions. Navratilova stated unequivocally that activists should stop trying to redefine feminism and accept the biological boundaries that protect women's areas. Despite this enormous pushback from mainstream fans and sports stars, league management and vocal activists continue to push divisive agendas that alienate the great majority of basketball fans.
A woman decided to stand up for women and female spaces. And that woman is now getting lambasted by other women because she doesn't support transgender people in female spaces. Sophie Cunningham, who many of you will probably know from this video, recently got herself in hot water because she had the audacity to say that women and girls should be protected.
WNBA star Sophie Cunningham, who plays guard for the Indiana Fever, when an ESPN feature quoted her opposition towards biological men competing in women's sports. She said she wanted to protect young girls both on court as well as in the locker room, calling her position kind of common sense. It has everything to do with reality.
This tension between business vision and common sense has put the WNBA leadership in a challenging position. While courageous athletes like Sophie Cunningham risk public condemnation to uphold the integrity of women's sports, people like Griner continue to spread stories that arouse tremendous public outrage. The gap between players who stand up for the truth and those who hide behind corporate rhetoric has revealed deep divisions inside the league. However, when the media narrative began to go out of hand, Griner's personal history unexpectedly came back into the spotlight as a result of resurrected evidence and viral online investigations, creating an explosive issue that league officials are desperately trying to avoid.
This jersey used to represent someone I respected as an athlete. Today it represents something I can't support anymore. Sports have the power to bring people together, but when someone uses their platform to demonize or marginalize an already vulnerable community, I have to decide where I stand. I'm burning my support. As a trans woman, I've spent years fighting just to exist authentically.
I will never understand how these people think this is some sort of a win for their side. Like, I am begging you people to be normal. Despite the monumental freakout, Cunningham didn't back down, which we love to see.
As public scrutiny reaches an all-time high, the WNBA front office has been compelled to entirely restrict the damage due to viral conversations on various media platforms. A group of analysts on the popular commentary show Valuetainment looked at internet rumors, resurrected media material, and leaked video clips regarding Gurier's past, highlighting the main sports network's total silence regarding her period in Russian custody.
Brittney Griner, the WNBA's Brittney Griner, is in fact a man.
Value, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the fuck.
Damn.
Look at the chest.
Jab stepping, just a brick. Swing and a miss.
It's very clearly Brittney.
I ain't gonna fake it right now.
They called him/her by their name. And as you can clearly see here, his bare chest is completely...
Taxpayer-funded sports and educational activities must carefully respect biological fairness, but private sporting organizations are free to try to push whatever narratives they like. The panel clarified that basic biological traits like lung capacity, bone density, and raw muscle power give male athletes an undeniable physical advantage over female competitors, making biological limitations in sports non-negotiable, according to analysts who pointed out the glaring double standards in how legacy sports outlets cover controversial league topics. This unchecked media frenzy makes it evident why the WNBA was losing money and struggling for mainstream relevance.
Again, cultural power. This is why the WNBA this is not going to go away. This issue is not going to go away. They're in such a bad position here. Caitlin Clark, they have cultural power. People love them. People are buying tickets that would never care about the WNBA. There's a reason why people call Sophie Cunningham MAGA Barbie, and people are starting to fill the arenas to watch her and Caitlin Clark. She's not apologizing for saying that there should be no men in this woman's sport. It's caused an absolute crisis, and people are losing their mind.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
These women spent $1,000 on tickets to attend the Indiana Fever versus Atlanta Dream game, specifically to see Sophie.
Before the legendary Caitlin Clark joined the league decades ago, overnight, the sport underwent a dramatic transformation. She filled arenas around the nation, broke watching records, and gave women's basketball previously unheard of commercial significance. Millions of ardent sports fans swarmed the stadium to see Clark's exhilarating style of play, incredible shooting range, and pure love of basketball, proving that fans would rather watch top-tier basketball than engage in forced political theater. However, rather than properly conserving and respecting Clark's historic value, league administration and activist pundits routinely allow divisive cultural debates to dominate the game.
This thing that he's doing where he's pretending that he's a woman is very smart.
It really don't make a difference if you say he or she to me.
Some psychopath can just pretend that they're a woman and knock women over on the court.
I gotta take this out.
Norman's a fucking woman, dude. I bet.
Oh, it's a giant dude. A giant dude who's just dominating these chicks. So the more controversy there is, the more people do come to see them. The crazy thing about the WNBA, imagine if the NBA had the same sexual dynamic. Imagine if the most of the team was a bunch of gay dudes who were like very aggressive.
Joe Rogan made this point throughout his show by prioritizing radical posturing over Clark's true fan base, even though the WNBA is presently receiving more public attention than ever before. League leadership stands the risk of completely wasting this wonderful opportunity. Athletes like Sophie Cunningham, who stand up to defend their peers and advance biological common sense, reflect the huge majority of sports fans who simply want fair competition and true physical greatness. Meanwhile, normal Americans who value sports integrity are become increasingly estranged from those who support the erasure of biological limits, such as Brittney Griner. True sports fans are ultimately worn out by corporate double standards, incompetent executive leadership, and forced political goals in women's basketball. Advocating for biological fact is not extreme. It is crucial to preserving the future of female sports, as courageous people like Sophie Cunningham and Martina Navratilova have shown. If the WNBA wants to protect its future, its executive staff must embrace the common sense majority, stop caving into strident protest groups, and fully back true superstars like Caitlin Clark. What are your thoughts on Joe Rogan's criticism of Brittney Griner's status in the WNBA? Are you in favor of Sophie Cunningham's initiatives to advance biological equity in women's sports? Please use the comment section below to express your opinions. Tell other basketball fans about this video. Click like and subscribe to the channel.